As far as you being a veteran in the locker room, and then you see Bill Goldberg gets a big push. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, did it make you pissed off that here you are?
No, because Goldberg is one of those wrestlers that comes along once every 10 years. As I was saying earlier, there's not too many guys that can actually have a wrestling lesson within a year and then have beat Hulk Hogan in front of 40,000 people live on TV. So I mean, that just doesn't happen. So, and it was one of those things where it was a treat for me to be there and witness his rise, because just him coming out to matches and people screaming his name and the pyros going up and you're seeing him standing there. I actually had the honor of wrestling him once. It wasn't a hell of a match at all, but just standing in the ring, seeing him come down the ramp, people screaming his name, it's like, my Lord, what a feeling, you know. But I wasn't jealous or envious or anything, because I know that I could never be Bill Goldberg, and Bill Goldberg could never be Norman Smiley, and vice versa. I couldn't be La Parka couldn't be Buff Bagwell. We all are who we are and what we are. It just so happens that at that time, Bill Goldberg was the person that was a connection and a big hit.
As far as Bill Goldberg goes, what do you think happened as far as dropping the ball with his push? And you know, he was the next big thing in wrestling. What do you think went wrong? Politics?
I believe to a certain point that the whole thing with Bill, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying this, was a fluke, in the sense that he went through the training at the power plant, but I don't think that he was seasoned enough to have matches, whereas the WWF took time out and had the patience to create Kurt Angle,
right?
Who was a medalist in the Olympics, right? So obviously he's a natural wrestler. But looking at it now on TV, you would never think that he even had an amateur wrestling lesson. But they took the time out, you know, and put him on dark matches, and he wrestled, I guess, in Heartland in Cincinnati somewhere. But with Bill, they had to shorten his matches because, you know, he couldn't work. But that's what actually got him over. His aggressiveness, his high impact moves, his intensity as he approached the ring. Were really his assets. So I've got the question. I'm just rambling on now. I'm sorry.
No, you pretty much answered it.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the Goldberg question.
Okay.
As far as dropping the ball, I guess when they started to beat him, I guess there was some jealousy amongst the top guys. And a lot of the top guys have been around for 8, 10, 12 years, and all of a sudden they got this guy who's literally a household name within 6 months. So I think that things were cultivated to bring him down a notch, and I guess the winless streak was broken. And once it was broken, it was like the aura of Mike Tyson. Once Tyson was beat, he wasn't Iron Mike Tyson; he was just another boxer. So I think that was the beginning of the downfall to Bill.
In WCW.
The WCW, yeah. It
was politics, basically.
Yeah.
At what point do you think Eric Bischoff lost control?
I can't say what point, but I can tell you what was happening. I believe that a lot of the top guys were doing what they wanted to do. If they didn't like a finish, they wouldn't do it. If they didn't want to work an angle with a particular guy, they wouldn't do it. I don't know if Eric was intimidated by some of them. I could tell that he was influenced, especially by a lot of the guys that came from Vince.
Right, like
Kevin and Hulkster and Scott Hall. But I don't know if actually he had the balls to say, listen. I mean, he would do it with the middle guys down. I mean, he had no problem saying, listen, either do it this way or get out.
Right.
But the top guys, I just think that he had a different set of rules for those guys. And when you have the top guys that are thinking for themselves instead of the company, after the writers have spent a week writing the show, and then they get to the day of the show, it's 3 hours before we go live, and they have to rewrite 4 segments because one guy doesn't want to do a job for another guy, or he doesn't like the way he has to go up, over or under. That's where the problem started.
As far as Eric Bischoff also, were you there when he offered everybody the releases?
No, that was in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I believe the only guy to take it was
Raven.
Right, Raven. Which prior to that, I did. I used to call those parties Nitro parties. I think it was.
Right.
Yeah, I did one with him, and he expressed to me that he wasn't happy. And he basically told me, because normally, because I walked out on Vince before, and he was making, I don't know how much he was making, but it was six figures. And he goes, I'll do it again in a heartbeat. And I guess he's a man of his word. But then again, I've heard that his family has money, so it's easy to take that outlook when your family has money.
Right, right.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.